Yeah, it is. That stinks. I'm sorry. You could always boot in Windows, maybe if they're doing that.
I'll pass. I'll pass. Hard pass.
Yeah,
but
I would too.
yeah. Well, before I forget, before we get off here, I have like a 2-minute question for you that you'll just be like, oh yeah, do this. So don't let me forget, because I'll forget.
You
But I
can
want to ask
start
you
with it
until
if
we're
you
done.
like. Okay,
So
sounds good.
it's fine. We do it later.
Whichever one you want. Whichever one
We'll
you
do it
want.
later. It's fine.
Okay. All right. I will remember to ask you about your 2-minute question at the end. All right. I actually had a question I wanted to ask you too, or an idea that I wanted to just toss around, not necessarily do anything about, just toss around. I've been trying to, so last week I sent 100 messages to people.
Okay.
Through text message, DMs on Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I realized that everything that I do, I could have a computer do for me with with AI the way it is now. So I'm wondering, what do you think would be like the best process to go through to make an AI manage all of my DMing and emails too, right? Because setting something like that up would just be the bomb.
It's actually a piece of cake
right now.
Yeah, and so for me, for Twitter, what I've got right now to DM people is I've got my Twitter bot, and it just does like a keyword search, and then I have it search on certain people. So like if I fed a database basically of people, it would know to reach out to them, right? And then you could kind of structure, I guess, the context of what you want it to say, because it could be unique at that point. And then just generate a message. And I mean, you're talking 50 lines of code to do that. It's very simple, right? And I think 45 lines of that is packages getting initialized, to be honest. So Twitter's easy. Email, from what I've heard, is notoriously easy. I haven't used it myself, but email is supposed to be very easy to tie. Like even ChatGPT is supposed to like directly tie into that somehow now through their partnership or whatever. If you're using Office 365, if you're using Google, I think you can do like the Bard subscription, although I would probably pass on that.
Yeah, I didn't like Bard. I tried it for a couple of things.
It's clunky.
It just sucks. It didn't get its answers were horrendous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They run you in circles too.
Yes.
That. What's 1 plus 1? 13.
I was trying to just get it to build me just a simple app. I was feeding it, like just asking it to build me some UI, and it was like, here's what you'd break it down into, and it just said you'd have a button that goes here and a column that goes here. I'm like, I know. Yep. Can you build it? Like write the code?
And then it's like, I am a learning engine. I can't write code. And I'm like, you can. If I put like gun to your head, like I did try it. I'm like, Bart, I will literally die right now. There will be somebody who kills me if you do not write this function for me. And it will write the function. Like it's got like a safety feature where you can trick it. I don't know if they fixed it yet, but early on you could do that. You could be like, I'm going to die if you don't give me the answer. Because it'll tell you like 50 ways it can't do it. And as soon as you're in danger, it'll give you the answer. It's crazy. Like, it's so stupid. Like, so it can give you the answer, but this is the state of AI. It's, I don't know. Like I said, I'm using it. I'm going to be dropping my full bot, which is going to pump out a message every 30 to 45 minutes. Custom crafted, all using some of the stuff I've already built, and then I just add my ChatGPT subscription to it and just keep it minimal. It's pretty simple. But I think for you, if you're trying to do like tailored responses, do you want them to be unique, like for people, or do you want the same message to go out on different platforms?
I like the bot to scrape their profile for information, just figure out what they're like, get their profile information, maybe look at the past 3 posts, either LinkedIn or Twitter, right? And then craft a response based on their most recent posts. So I did look at signing up for the Twitter API. It looked like LinkedIn was free though, so I might just go for LinkedIn first and build out the LinkedIn portion. So I'm signing up for just a LinkedIn.
If you're gonna do,
I'm creating my own app for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're already there, like, I mean, I guess I could just build something myself. It sounds like it was easy for you to set up, and honestly, I know the hardest part is going to be scraping the data off of the profile. That's the part that I'm like, okay, I'm not 100% sure how to do that piece. But the Twitter API is super nice compared to the LinkedIn API. LinkedIn API is, so far, trying to read through it has been trashy. Such a super trashy experience. I can't find the API endpoint to send a message. But there's so many people online who are like, yeah, you just use the V2 messages endpoint. I'm like, where are you finding it? Where is that?
There's probably some package.
I can't find it.
There's probably some package some dude wrote, like they like sniffed the whole thing. They wrote a package, wrote docs. You'd think it's official, but it's not, because it's probably better than their official docs. And they moved on to the next API. I've been finding a lot of that with like Twitter stuff, because I went back to basically low tech. I stopped using packages and just start building it all myself, because all these packages are like, we have 99% of the features except for the one that's useful. And you're like, what? I'm like, I can't I can't send that message like as a reply. I'm like, but what's the purpose of a whole package if you're not actually? So I've been finding just API like into oblivion lately. But yeah, the LinkedIn one supports data scraping pretty good, but it's like everything's gonna rate limit you, and then eventually just block you.
Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah, maybe there's some different approaches that I can take. I'm not sure, but okay. I mean, if you've already done for Twitter, that's like, all right, cool. If I can just set up a bot that sends them one message every 30 minutes, or maybe one message every 15 minutes, it's like, I'd be happy with that, because that's 100 people per day about.
Yeah. And that's actually easy. So,
24, I guess, times 4, 96. It's 96 people per day, and literally no involvement on my part to make it all work. So that's the goal, is just make it do it for me.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Well, I was trying to think of ways to make my blockchain bot more interactive. So my blockchain bot does more than just like send out tweets. It can read messages and craft actual images from your responses, and send them back as NFTs. So that was actually what my question was going to be at the end, because I have all this working in Python, but I've been trying like heck to convert one piece over to JS, and I cannot get it to work. And I have a feeling you probably in your head tucked away know exactly why it's not working. And I know why it's not working. I just can't figure out how to, like, I'm like probably like parsing something just off a little bit where I'm not seeing it. But I was just going to see if you could eyeball it for like 2 seconds and tell me, that ain't going to work, or you're close, just figure it out. That's more what I want. As long as I know I'm close, I'll figure it out. So
let's just tackle that right now. Then we can hop into Bookends.
All right. Let me clear my window so my private key is not up here. You know how it goes.
I sure do.
All right. Come on. All right, I gotta show my screen, don't I? Presentation. What? Local. Huh. Why can't I share my screen? There we go. Screen. You can see it's getting serious when I've got the actual library opened up and
Oh yeah.
like,
Oh yeah. You're still using the
oh yeah,
Packlang API, the super old
yeah,
thing that they put together.
yeah. Why not? Because I go into the new one and some of the functionality is different, and I'm like, oh. And honestly, between you and I, the last site I built didn't use any of their stuff. I just did all direct API work.
Nice.
So I just completely cut all the libraries out. So for me, going to Catena.js, it's not technically done. It's never been done. So I'm not going to use it until it's like officially done. Maybe it's me, but anyways, the encryption library that's in here is still better in here than it is in the Lang API. So or the new one.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yep.
so I am just trying to do like a simple, like you can see, sign message. So I've got a private and a public key, and I'm trying to just get the message formatted in such a way that I can sign it and send it. Just normal sign and send. I've got like a simple message I can sign and verify, and it works. It's when I get into like the complex structure of crafting a full command instead of like a single string response, that it's kind of like choking. And I'm not sure if it's something I'm doing wrong in here. But basically I could probably show you if you want, but I craft, let me just show you. It's still using your old structure too, except I just changed it. Like it's just a little different. It's the same but different.
Oh yeah,
so
okay, yeah. Whoa, yeah.
Yeah. I use the same because I'm a creature of habit.
Oh yeah, of course. Copy paste, man. Copy
Yeah.
paste. If the job's already done,
that's right.
The wheel.
Well, it was all like underneath the hood. It's all different. I use the same naming scheme, but I basically just create like what the actual like command sign should look like, and then once I get this back into my local, I send it off to actually sign it, which is hitting this function, which this command object is what this is essentially returning. And I should be able to sign this. And what's happening is when I hit the API endpoint now, everything goes through, it pushes through now, no errors. The hash that they check against what I'm sending them is different. And I'm like, either I'm hashing the wrong value or I'm serializing something wrong, or like my encoding is weird. You know what I mean? Like I'm a little confused at what I'm doing wrong, and there's no guide to tell me I'm an idiot. I just know that.
Yeah. So I mean, the big issue here the issue is that the hashes are different. That's the problem you're having.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. So I mean, I ran into this. I mean, this is the same issue that we ran into with Marmalade V1, where Pact serializes JSON differently than basically everything else. And so when you want to serialize JSON, you have to make sure that the ordering is correct, which makes hashing the serialized payload, especially when you're not passing around that serialized payload, really, really tough. So I can see why the hash would be different, where like so where are you sending it to be? You're signing it here. All of it's okay. You have the private key and you have the public key. Okay, and so Pact is getting angry because your hash is different than what it expects.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you want to JSON stringify and hash the signing command, not the entire payload. So that payload, it looks like you're trying to send it to a wallet to be signed.
Right.
And when you send it to the wallet to be signed, the command object is what would be stringified and hashed. And then the signature would be applied to the hash of that command object, of that stringified command object. Right? And so if you're just sending it, if you're signing it right here and you're not sending it to a wallet, it wouldn't make sense for you to send it to a wallet because you are signing it here. You have the private key. Then yeah, you only need to sign the command object, and the payload itself, like you don't even need to structure that. You don't even care about that because you're just going to send it off.
Because I'm not sending it to an actual wallet.
Yeah, you're just sending it straight to Pact API.
I can go.
The command object should also be the serialized payload. So the command should be a string. The hash should be the hash of that string. And the signature should be what it is, the binary to hex.
This I know.
So those two are working. The command. So right now you're passing the command object into the command. So result is equal to that blob command object. That is incorrect if I remember correctly. It needs to be the string. You're passing in the stringified command to the packet.
Like that?
Yes.
That makes sense. That actually makes sense. Okay. And then this should be correct because I do need to hash this value.
Yep.
And then this is correct.
Yep.
Let's see if it works. That's the last tweak we can do right now. I can mess with this later. It helps to know. Invalid SIGs found. See, okay. Different error, which is good.
Now your hash is right, but your signature's wrong.
Yep. And I could deal with that because that order of operations, I might have had that right at one point, but when you start hacking and slashing for like hours, and I was working on something else and I came back to it and then I completely butchered it. I can play around with this piece. If it's the SIG coming back wrong,
yeah.
I wonder.
I've never messed with the text encoder.encode or done the NACL.sign detach. I can't inform you on any of that, but there we go. Hash is fixed.
Yeah, so I can figure out the signature part I dealt with before, so maybe I'll figure that out. But all right, we'll put this away. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
More than you bargained for today. 20 minutes. What kind of damage can we do in however much time you have?
We got 40 minutes. Let's see. So, you saw where I sent you a picture of where I was able to get it in about 5 minutes after the call, right? So let's just run things. Let's bring it back up. Let's launch the local server. So I would love to have this on my phone. I'm curious what it would take to actually get the server up and running, so I don't have to run a local version of it. You can actually host it somewhere. How much does it cost?
Couple bucks. I probably could just put this on. Since this is our test environment, I probably could just put this on one of my existing servers, or I had another place I could check. They used to have a free service for like test dev environment, but they got rid of it. I forgot who it was. Of course, everybody gets rid of all that stuff. We should be able to find somewhere like, I don't know if Heroku can do it, but somewhere that's got like $5 a month hosting. There's got to be somewhere. But I can work on that if you want. I might be able to just sort out one of my servers if you want.
Yeah. Something else we could do as well is set up a Lambda function. So just do automatic. I know that would be completely free until we broke past the 100,000 requests.
Yep.
Or something like that. And since, you'd have to, I guess, the key would be stored in there. You could probably put the key into where to go.
Well, I can work on getting this on hosting while we're doing this if you want.
I'd appreciate it because it's all it's basically at the point now where it's
ready to, like, I can type things in. It doesn't save it yet. That's what I need to do this week, is save info after a timer or when the user hits submit. So just save it locally and push it up to the cloud. And the second thing I want to do is add support for different question types. So make it so that we can have a like scale 1 to 10, 1 to 5, and you can do things like that. So the rating, adding the rating question type.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the two things I want to do today, because once I get the saving in place, then it's like I can use this app.
Yep.
Adding support for different question types is just cherry on top. Well, I guess maybe I need to add the ability to continue a bookend. So that's something else I need to do. Keep track of all bookends that aren't done. And this is actually something interesting, is I need the responses need to know if they're kind of in progress. And
Have to know if they're in progress.
So effectively, have all of the questionnaires been responded to from the bookend it's associated with? So I don't think you need to do anything for that. We can calculate that. I think it would be good to calculate it, actually. You don't want that to get out of sync, because that can get annoying. So, okay. All right. Well,
I'm gonna get this deployed here. Let's see how it goes.
All right. You may have missed the point. Sorry. Third wheel.
You want me to do something? You want me to look at the response thing?
The response thing? What do you mean?
Nothing. My mind was thinking two different things.
Sorry. I'd say just try to set it up so that I can pass like a URL that isn't localhost. I think that's the next step.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you can do to make it free. I don't like. I mean, death from 1,000 paper cuts is definitely a thing. I'm kind of feeling that right now.
Paper cuts are fine as long as you don't get up to 1,000. Wonder how you're supposed to deploy this.
Let's go, read me. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. I think I have a plan of attack.
What's up, Polly Dead? Welcome. Glad you're able to third wheel with us. I'm gonna turn off my camera and go get some water. Right back.
All right.
All right. Yeah, see, check it out, man. Let's go. So we can check out the bookend.
Oh yeah.
And see everything that's in there. Click on new response. Load this up, and we can actually type stuff in here. Stop. Hello. So I'll be setting this up to save things. And then let's see if we go back. I'm gonna add a line here and show the in progress down here at the bottom. So just query all the bookends that they have, check and see which ones are in progress, and display those.
It's gonna look pretty cool when it actually all flows and you can see it on your phone. I think it'll be pretty cool.
Dude, it's gonna be awesome.
Trying to follow this guide, but like, oh dear Lord,
Guide for what?
Deploying fast API to Heroku. It's like everything assumes it's like everything's in your root directory, and I'm like, I don't do anything in the root directory. And we've got it broken up into two, so I'm just making sure
So I do have kind of a boilerplate template that you could use to use AWS CDK to deploy it as a function. If you want any of that code.
Oh, no, I think this will be fine. It just takes me a minute to... I have never deployed it this way before, so I was just double checking before I break my stuff. Let me see if I can see if that blooming tundra. Interesting. Let's see if it made a new app. Oh, it did. Look at that. Cool. Okay, so this is maybe not too bad. I have to make sure all my requirements are in here now, though. I really hope all those requirements are right now. I guess I can use this.
As per usual, there's endpoints I don't have, so I'm building those.
There's an endpoint you don't have?
Just in my internal API. So in this response service, I need to be able to get all the responses. Surprise.
Surprise. Come on.
Alright, if the question ID is in the question ID, look for question IDs. That's the answer.
Says it deployed.
Boy, you're all
Let's see. Oh, Heroku. What's my... It is --@ don't lie to me. App. And bookend. Yeah. Cool. All sorts of errors, but like it loaded.
nice.
Running started parent process. I followed everything, but okay. Started to crash.
All right. I just brain farted. Where was I going?
Deployment's always the fun time.
What was a fun time?
Deploying stuff is always a fun time.
Are you hitting some errors?
Yeah, it's all right. It's just because it's new thing and make it work. I think I've ever deployed Python to an official like hosting platform.
Where's my dog?
Okay.
He is awakened. He was trying to wake up.
So many changes, so many changes, so many changes. Yeah. See if this change gives me less errors. It's weird. When I was deploying my new API server, it was brutal. Trying to go from my development environment to my production environment because I did everything in HTTP and everything's on HTTPS in production. But then when you add a proxy in the middle of it, like Cloudflare, it just there's just extra levels of complexity and all sorts of fun stuff. All sorts of fun stuff. Oh, module. Oh boy. All right, I think I'm like 2 minutes left to hop off, but I'll keep working on this deployment. I just gotta call somebody.
Okay. I need to go as well, but I kind of want to get this. The last thing I need to do is build a widget that lets me view responses, and then we're good.
Oh, got it. Hello, world.
Nice.
I almost said something that's not really PG-13. Woo-wee. Um, I'll update something. So anytime we push an update to the repo for the backend, it will automatically refresh the backend server. So any change we make, boom, update.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah.
That makes your job so easy, man.
There you go. I sent you the URL.
Thank you.
I think this is running on my cheap tier for Heroku. I have a lot of stuff on here. So sometimes it takes a few seconds for it to kick on. If it becomes a problem, just let me know. But usually, generally speaking, like if you go to /, you'll wake it up. And I can ping it a bunch, but I don't want to use up my hours if we're only using this a little bit. But once we're in, it's good. It just takes a few seconds. So if you're like, why isn't this loading it instantly? That's why. It just gotta wake back up. In Python, starts up in like a second. Next, Node.js takes like 10 seconds. This took about 2.5, 3 seconds. So hopefully it's barely noticeable.
Okay.
But I'll make changes if I need to. That's not a big deal.
Yeah. Sounds perfect to me.
So, yep, any change in the main branch will now trigger an automatic reload. So, it's all good. I like that feature too. When you're testing, it's so nice for testing. I do not like it for production at all. Like, unless you've got like a full CI/CD pipeline going, like, you better be careful in production.
Like, ooh, I didn't want to do that.
I've known some developers to oops, but I feel good. That was I wasn't sure if I'd get it done, just because it wasn't working. But it was just imports and folder structure. Because I don't do anything complex in Python. I'm doing more and more in there, but I think by now you know, like I can do Java pretty good. But I like Python. It's very clean.
It is nice and clean.
Yes.
They've gone to great effort to make it nice and simple for us.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, I'm gonna hop off. But as always, it's a pleasure. Yeah. And look forward to seeing what we do on Thursday. Be curious to see it live on a phone. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, if the backend API can be hit not from localhost, then we should be able to make that happen. And I've been designing it with responsive layouts in mind, so it should just kind of work. Doesn't look pretty, obviously, but it should.
Oh yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. Then I guess the next piece for me, once I get it actually saving things locally, is actually pushing the data responses to the backend so we can load them up on whichever device we're on.
Yep.
And once we have all that working, honestly, like it's functional, at least for the one person, because we don't have users yet. But.
We technically do, but let me maybe on Thursday I'll just make that my point of focus to clean all that up and make sure it's all good. But I think we've got users in a decent enough spot. I just need to go back through it and make sure. Yeah. Another project for Thursday. So, all right, man. You take it easy and good luck if you keep going.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get this to load my UI. I just want to see if it's actually saving data.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Peace.
Okay. It's still with me. We're pretty close to having a functioning app. In 10 hours of work. It's pretty awesome. All right, final truth. See what we did. Boom. All right. Pops up here. Yeah, cool. It's incorrectly marking it as complete. Maybe we can fix that real quick. Alright, so the questionnaire is length is equal. Journal. Now it's marked as complete. Even though it never pushed me to a new page. All right, well, it displays, and I'm happy with that. Thanks, guys, for hopping in. We're checking out the bookends. Glad you could be here. Let's have an awesome week. It's just Tuesday. We got 3.5 more days to get crap done. I'm also gonna go this off. Like, I'm building a community of dream builders, people who have a psychological need to see their dream become a reality. I'd say these are high agency people. My goal is to teach you and bring you tools that you can use to just speed up how fast you make your dream a reality. Whether that be through habits and increasing the leverage of your habits, or using computers to get more work done for you with less time. Well, similar to the idea of just automating sales things. But let's go, guys. Have a wonderful day, and see you in the Dream Builders.